High above mortal eyes lies a kingdom of clouds and light, where the skies breathe with a rhythm older than time itself. It is a hidden realm, where winds carry whispers, and every voice from the earth below drifts upward like a secret prayer. Some call it myth, others a legend, but those who truly listen know the sky is still speaking, telling the story of its king. He is Zeus, the Skyfall King, not the Zeus of fire and fury, but a keeper of balance, a guardian of silence and song. His throne rests on cloudstone, vast yet gentle, built not to rule through fear, but to hold the weight of harmony. His crown is woven from living lightning, glowing brightest not with power, but with wisdom that guides him through night and dawn. Each sunrise he listens, each night he learns, for the sky is not his to command, it is his to care for. This tale is not of conquest nor fear, but of a kingdom where storms and stars sing, and of the king who walks among clouds. Above the world we know stretches a boundless sea of air, alive with whispers, carrying secrets as old as time itself. If you have ever stood beneath a quiet sky and felt a pull in your chest, you have touched its mystery. The sky listens, the sky remembers, and sometimes, when you are still, the sky speaks. Our story begins not with thunder or lightning, but with a whisper moving through endless blue. A voice that does not shout, a song that does not demand, but a presence as soft as a breeze against the soul. They call it the realm of skies, a place beyond sight where clouds are messengers and winds carry meaning. To mortals, the wind rattles windows and rustles leaves. To the realm above, it is language. Words rise into the air, turning into stories, secrets, and hopes that drift upward. At the center of it all sits Zeus, the Skyfall King. Not the Zeus of old tales, fierce and unyielding. A different Zeus, a patient one. He rules not with fear, but with listening. His throne is cloudstone, his gift is balance. The skies swirl around him, not in chaos, but in rhythm, steady as a great invisible heart. Lightning flickers above him like a lantern, glowing not with warning, but with gentle light. The whispers reach him from every corner, joyful laughter, heavy sighs, unspoken questions. Zeus does not answer with command. He answers with silence, with thought, with listening. Each whisper becomes part of the sky's song, carried by stars, echoed by clouds, returned by wind. He knows every breath carries meaning, and no voice is too small to be heard. To him, the sky is not only a kingdom, it is a bridge between earth and heaven, between silence and song. This is why skies never feel empty, why we sense something holding us when we look up. It is the presence of the Skyfall King listening, patient, eternal. He reigns not for glory, not for control, but for connection. This is the tale of whispers and the king who listens. The beginning of a story shaped not by thunder, but by silence. Stay with me, for the skies hold more stories yet. And if you listen closely, you may hear them too. In the heart of the sky, kingdom stands a throne unlike any other, formed not of stone or gold, but of living cloud. It is vast, yet weightless, steady, yet soft, carrying both stillness and song. This throne does not shine with jewels, nor echo with footsteps of power. It listens. Zeus, the Skyfall King, sits upon it not as a ruler above, but as a guardian within. He does not raise his voice to command. Instead, he lowers his heart to hear. Around him, the clouds drift in slow circles, weaving patterns like a silent hymn. Each movement of mist is a note in the symphony of the skies. When mortals gaze upward, they see only shifting clouds. Yet here, they are voices. Every shape, every shadow, every shimmer is part of a language only he understands. The throne of Cloudstone is not heavy. It carries him as much as he carries it. It reminds him daily that leadership is not weight, but balance. In its silence, Zeus learns more than words could ever teach. He learns that patience speaks louder than thunder. That quiet presence shapes the realm more deeply than storms ever could. The throne is his teacher as much as it is his seat, for in silence, there is listening. And in listening, there is wisdom. This is the secret of the silent throne. In every kingdom there is a crown, but the Skyfall King's crown is alive, woven not of gold or stone, but of light itself. They call it the crown of lightning, born from storms, spun from threads of living energy that hum with the breath of the skies. It flickers, it shifts, it hums like a flame that never burns out, resting gently above the brow of Zeus. This crown is no ornament, no trophy of wealth. It is a mirror of the spirit that wears it. When wisdom guides his heart, the crown shines bright, casting a beacon of light across the skies. When doubt clouds his mind, its glow dims, soft and searching, like a lantern waiting to be rekindled. The crown of lightning is not a prize to hold. It is a reminder that power is lived, not displayed. To mortals below, its flicker seems like storms, but often it is simply the crown breathing, softly glowing. Zeus does not wear it for glory. He wears it because the sky itself asks him to. For the crown belongs not only to him, but to the heavens and the whispers of the winds. When it shines bright, the skies grow calm, the clouds lighter, the stars awake and listening. When it dims, the silence deepens, the winds slow, and the stars blink faintly as if waiting with him. Zeus accepts these dim moments, for he knows wisdom ebbs and flows like tides and drifting clouds. A fading glow is not failure. It is an invitation to pause, to listen deeper, to let silence teach. At times, he walks the rivers of mist with the crown faint above his brow, carrying questions instead of answers. But the crown reminds him, questions are beginnings, seeds of wisdom yet to grow, not signs of weakness. The mortals never see the crown as it truly is. To them, it is light brief, distant, untouchable. Yet sometimes, gazing at a sky alive with sparks and stars, they feel it. They sense something greater. Perhaps in their quiet hearts, they know it is not only lightning, it is guidance, presence, and promise. The crown binds Zeus to the sky. It keeps him honest, humble, and listening with patience. It reminds him that light is not for himself, but for all who look upward in wonder and hope. And so, he wears it gently, bowing his head to its hum, guided not by power, but by presence. For the crown of lightning is not control, it is connection, a living bond of light. And as it glows across the heavens, every star, every cloud, every whisper knows their king reigns with light. If the sky is a kingdom, then the wind is its messenger. It moves unseen, yet it carries everything. Voices, secrets, laughter, and tears. Mortals think the wind is restless, chasing clouds and stirring seas. But here, it is language. It is presence. The messengers of wind are shapes without form, voices without faces. They drift between earth and sky, gliding on invisible paths. Where humans hear rustling leaves, Zeus hears words. Every shift of air is a story waiting to be told. A gentle breeze may carry the laughter of children playing. A sudden gust may bring the sigh of someone walking alone. A slow current may lift a prayer whispered in secret. And when these messengers arrive, Zeus listens with patience. They sweep valleys, seas, deserts, and mountains. They carry what hearts cannot hold, weaving it into endless currents. Sometimes they bring joy music drifting from a village festival. Sometimes sorrow, the silence of loss, trembling in a final breath. And sometimes questions that mortals dare not speak aloud. Zeus greets every messenger equally, joy or sorrow alike. The wind does not judge, and neither does the Skyfall King. There are nights when hundreds of messengers gather together. The throne room hums with their whispers, alive with stories. Zeus listens until the last note fades into silence. And there are days when no voices rise, no stories come. Stillness is not emptiness, it is rest, balance, a quiet pause. Zeus listens even to silence, for it too carries meaning. Mortals rarely think of the wind as a gift. They shield themselves, curse it when it howls too loud. But deep inside, some sense its secret. A child running in fields feels joy in the rushing air. A traveler on a cliff feels comfort in the steady breeze. These are glimpses of the messenger's gentle reminders of presence. The wind is timeless. No word is ever truly lost. A whisper from long ago may still drift upward, waiting to be heard. The winds remember what the world forgets. And Zeus listens, letting their stories shape his heart. Every laugh, every cry, every question deepens his wisdom. The messengers are not his servants, they are his teachers. For a king who listens is never truly alone. He is surrounded by voices that carry the truth of the world. Strength is not thunder or command, it is listening to the winds. The messengers of wind remind us the sky is never empty. Even in silence, something is moving, something is carrying us. And if we listen, we may hear what Zeus hears, the heartbeat of the world, drifting upward on wings unseen. There is a river in the sky, but it is not of water. It is made of drifting clouds, weaving endless paths across the heavens. Mortals see only shifting white, but to Zeus it is a living river. It carries memories, dreams, and reflections from the world below. Each cloud is a fragment, a page of the sky's great diary. Some are bright, carrying joy like lanterns floating in twilight. Some are heavy, carrying sorrow that lingers and drifts in silence. And some are soft, fragile as whispers, holding questions without answers. Zeus often walks beside this river, his steps light on mist. He touches the clouds, and they open like books of air. Stories rise of laughter, of longing, of love, left unfinished. The river is not bound by time. It carries past and present alike. A child's dream may flow beside an elder's final memory. A forgotten promise may drift, with a hope yet unspoken. The clouds do not judge. They simply carry, gently, endlessly. Zeus listens, not with ears, but with the quiet of his heart. The river reminds him that every story belongs, that even the smallest dream is part of the sky's endless stream. At times, he sees clouds too heavy to move, weighted with grief. He leans close, whispers light into them, and slowly they drift again. At times, he sees clouds bright as dawn, carrying joy for all to see. He bows his head, grateful, letting their glow brighten the heavens. And at times, he sees clouds fading, stories nearly forgotten. He catches them, cradles them in silence, and lets them rest. The river of clouds is not only for Zeus. Mortals below feel it when they gaze upward in wonder. They see shapes, faces, and symbols in the sky. They do not know why, but they feel a connection. It is the river speaking to them, gently, silently. It tells them, your story is not lost. It drifts, it lingers, it shines above you in cloudlight. Zeus knows this truth. No story is too small for the skies. And so, he guards the river not as treasure, but as promise. A promise that every breath, every memory, every dream has a place. The river of clouds never ends. It flows beyond horizons, circling eternity with patience. And in its endless current, Zeus finds his quiet strength. For the clouds carry not only mortal voices, but the heart of the world. And as long as they drift, the sky will never forget. High above the clouds lies a bridge not made of stone or wood. It is woven of starlight, stretching across the heavens like silver threads. Mortals call it the Milky Way, but to Zeus it is the Star Bridge. It is not a path for feet, but for souls, dreams, and thoughts. A child's wish rises like a step upon the Star Bridge. A wanderer's question drifts upward, carried across its glowing arc. The bridge binds earth to heaven in silence and shimmering light. Zeus often walks upon it, though his steps leave no trace. Here, the stars hum softly, each one a note in the cosmos. Old stars sing with steady wisdom. Young stars shine with eager fire. Together they form a chorus no silence can ever break. As he walks, Zeus listens to wishes woven in starlight. Some are simple joy, safety, warmth through the winter night. Some are heavy healing for the sick, peace for the grieving. Each wish rests on the Star Bridge, making its glow brighter. Not all voices are prayers. Some are questions in wonder. What lies beyond the stars? Do we matter in the vastness? The bridge carries them gently, weaving them into its light. To Zeus, these questions are sacred signs of reaching hearts. The stars themselves speak across the bridge in quiet whispers. A dying star hums farewell. A newborn star cries in joy. The star bridge glows brighter on some nights, luminous and alive. Mortals pause in awe. Zeus stands at its center in silence. He opens his heart and lets the chorus flow through him. He becomes part of the bridge itself, not ruler but listener. Other nights, the bridge dims, nearly hidden in the dark. Mortals fear the stars are gone, but Zeus knows the truth. The bridge is always there, carrying, waiting, steady as breath. The star bridge teaches him that bonds live even when unseen. Mortals never walk it with their feet, but with their hearts. Every glance upward is a step, every hope a shimmer. The bridge answers not with words, but with presence and light. It reminds all who look, you are never truly alone. Zeus knows the bridge is not his, it belongs to all. He only keeps it safe, glowing, steady across eternity. It is a promise the sky gives freely, a gift of light. So when you gaze upward and feel connection and stillness, know you are stepping onto the star bridge, your voice among the chorus. And far above, the Skyfall King is listening. At the edge of the sky lies a secret garden where night softens into morning. Its roots are light. Its leaves are the first colors of day. This is the Garden of Dawn, where beginnings are born. Flowers here bloom not with petals, but with radiance. They glow in shades of rose, amber, and gold. Mortals see it only as sunrise, but Zeus sees it whole. The garden is alive with renewal and quiet promise. Each blossom rises from the silence of night into light. Their fragrance is not scent, but the breath of hope. Zeus often walks here before the world awakens. His crown glows softly, not in thunder but in peace. The blossoms bend toward him, recognizing a kindred spirit. The garden sings in its own way, a hum of color. Together, the flowers create a hymn, not for ears, but for hearts. Each flower holds a story woven into its glow. Some carry the promise of new love, soft and pink. Some shine with resilience after long nights of sorrow. Others hold the innocence of fresh dreams and wonder. Zeus listens to the blossoms instead of commanding them. He touches their glowing leaves and feels their warmth. He senses what mortals will feel when dawn breaks. Courage, renewal, and peace flow through him like light. The garden teaches that endings are never final. Night may linger, but it cannot last forever. Darkness is only the soil from which dawn blooms. Zeus carries this wisdom as a gift for his kingdom. Mortals sense the garden in the sunrise they see. A weary traveler feels comfort in the first light. A grieving heart finds strength in the morning glow. The blossoms reach them with gifts unseen yet true. Some mornings the garden blazes with radiant fire. The horizon bursts with color, painting the world anew. On those mornings, Zeus lingers, grateful for the gift. Other days, the garden glows quiet and subdued. Even gray dawn carries hope in its steady glow. The garden does not belong to Zeus, but to time. He is its witness, its guardian, its grateful companion. Each morning, it blooms again, giving freely, asking nothing. Mortals who lift their eyes at sunrise enter the garden. They walk among blossoms of light without knowing it. Their hearts are touched by promises born of dawn. This is the gift of the garden. Each day is new. Every beginning holds strength, beauty, and hope. And in every dawn, the Skyfall King listens. Beneath the mountains lies a hidden place where the sky cannot reach. Its entrance is veiled by mist, its passages winding in secret. It is called the Echoing Caverns, where voices never die. The walls shimmer with crystals, glowing faintly like trapped stars. The air carries whispers from nowhere and everywhere at once. Step inside, and you do not hear silence, but memory. Every voice leaves its trace in the echoing caverns. Words of hope, sorrow, and joy linger long after life. To mortals it feels haunting, but to Zeus it is sacred. The caverns are not a tomb, they are a living archive. When Zeus enters, the echoes gather to meet their listener. Ancient voices drift beside fresh ones, still warm with life. Together, they weave a chorus of remembrance without end. The voices do not ask for rescue or answers. They repeat truths: a child's laugh, a mother's lullaby, a scholar's question, a wanderer's song. Each voice is a light. Nothing spoken from the heart is ever truly lost. Even vanished words find a place to live again. Zeus touches the glowing crystals, and echoes grow clearer. He hears struggles overcome, kindness offered, courage in silence. These are not grand victories, but small truths of spirit. The wind leaves its whisper here, and the rain too. Thunder, snow, and earth itself add voices to the walls. The caverns remind him, all creation longs to be remembered. Some nights, the caverns blaze with echoes like a tide. Mortals in dreams hear whispers without knowing their source. In those moments, memory and present flow together as one. Other nights, the echoes retreat, and silence takes their place. Even silence is memory, holding voices close in rest. Zeus leaves the voices where they belong, eternal and free. But he carries their lessons into the kingdom of skies. Every word matters. Every voice counts. Every truth endures. Perhaps that is why he listens so deeply to mortals. He knows their words do not vanish into the air. They live on in echoes carried by earth and wind. So when you speak in joy, fear, or longing, remember this: the world is listening, and your voice is never lost. Somewhere, in caverns unseen, your truth still echoes eternal. Far above the clouds floats a lake untouched by earth. It hangs in the sky, held by winds and lightning alone. This is the mirror of storms, alive with restless light. Its surface ripples with silver veins of lightning and thunder. It shows not your face, but the soul beneath. Zeus comes here when storms weigh heavy within him. Even kings are not free from shadow and doubt. The mirror welcomes him with thunder softened to breath. In its depth, he sees himself as he truly is. Strength, yes, but also fears he hides from the world. Choices unmade, words unsaid, faces remembered and waiting. The mirror does not judge, it only reflects truth. Here Zeus learns that storms live inside as well. Power without humility is an empty crown to bear. The mirror also shows mortal fears and fragile courage. Their stories swirl like clouds, woven into his own. He sees he is not a part, but a part. Sometimes it shows him paths of what could be, not prophecy, but possibility, shaped by choice. Destiny is not stone, but wind that bends and flows. The mirror is both teacher and companion in silence. It listens, reflects, holds him accountable without words. In its truth, Zeus finds peace and quiet clarity. He leaves with storms inside, softened, no longer chains. His doubts remain, but now as lessons carried within. Mortals too find mirrors in ponds, storms, and silence. To know the world, you must first face yourself. To face yourself, you must embrace the storms inside. The Skyfall King steps away, winds rising with him. The mirror hums with thunderlight, alive and eternal. And Zeus lifts his gaze, renewed by reflection's truth. Far beyond storms and stars lies a place of silence. It is not sky or earth, not shadow or light. It is the threshold where time itself is woven. This is the Loom of Fate, endless and eternal. Threads of countless colors stretch across infinity here. Each thread belongs to a soul, mortal or divine. They twist, intersect, and form the tapestry of existence. The loom never sleeps. Its weavers move without end. They do not speak, but guide threads with certainty. Zeus arrives not as king, but as one thread. Here, no crown matters, for all are equal bound. He steps closer, gazing upon rivers of light and shadow. Up close, each thread trembles with fragile weight of choice. Zeus finds his own, golden with thunder's pulse. It weaves tightly with mortals, gods, storms and stars. He looks back, and sees triumphs and mistakes alike. The loom holds them all without judgment or erasure. He looks forward, and his thread shimmers with possibility. Some paths glow bright, others dim, many lost to mystery. He feels wonder, for destiny is not fixed here. The weavers teach, fate is canvas, not chain. Each decision reshapes the pattern of the whole. Even gods are bound by this eternal truth. Zeus kneels, palm upon threads alive with voices. He hears farmers, sailors, children lives touched by storms. Their voices are woven into him as his thunder in them. He realizes he is not separate, but part of all. One thread shining among billions, bound in connection. He rises, watching the weaver's endless, patient task. Every storm, silence, and choice becomes a thread here. The loom is vast, unseen in its entirety, but its lesson is clear. To live is to weave. Moment by moment, each life becomes part of eternity. Zeus turns away, threads humming like distant music. The weavers continue, hands never resting or faltering. His golden thread glows brighter with choices yet to come. There are trials of thunder, and there are trials of fire. Yet the greatest trial is one most overlooked, the trial of silence. Silence is not absence. It is presence in its purest form. It is the space between lightning and thunder, question and answer. Beyond Olympus lies the valley of silence, where no voice lives. No birds sing, no wind stirs, no rivers flow here. When Zeus enters, his thunder falls still and powerless. He tries to speak, but no sound escapes his lips. He raises his hand for lightning, but the air is calm. Here, power has no weight. Presence alone matters. The trial begins not with challenge, but with waiting. Zeus listens first for wind, then for earth, but nothing stirs. Slowly, he hears what lies beneath. His heart, his breath, his mind. Silence reveals how often he drowned doubt with thunder's noise. Even gods fear the quiet, seeking storms to cover their thoughts. Time bends in the valley, measured only by stillness. Restlessness claws at him, but the silence holds him firm. At last, Zeus surrenders, letting stillness become his companion. He does not demand answers. He lets silence simply exist. Then silence begins to speak, not with words, but with truth. It shows him storms are only half his kingdom's power. The other half is calm sky, dawn's hush, night's still breath. To rule the heavens is to honor thunder and silence alike. He understands silence is the canvas upon which all sound lives. Without silence, music is chaos. Voices, meaningless. Thunder, empty. A king who cannot bear silence will drown the world in noise. A ruler who cannot listen will never truly hear. The silence deepens, settling into Zeus as balance, not emptiness. He rises. No thunder, no lightning, only silence walks with him. The trial has ended. Silence was never to be conquered. It was meant to be embraced, a gift and a guide. From then on, the Skyfall King carries silence within. In pauses before thunder, in quiet after storms, in still nights. Mortals feel it too in dawn's hush, or sleep's stillness. A steady presence, not heavy, not fearful, but calm. It is the gift of silence, carried by the one who once sought storms. There are trials of thunder, and there are trials of fire. Yet the greatest trial is one most overlooked, the trial of silence. Silence is not absence. It is presence in its purest form. It is the space between lightning and thunder, question and answer. Beyond Olympus lies the valley of silence, where no voice lives. No birds sing, no wind stirs, no rivers flow here. When Zeus enters, his thunder falls still and powerless. He tries to speak, but no sound escapes his lips. He raises his hand for lightning, but the air is calm. Here, power has no weight. Presence alone matters. The trial begins not with challenge, but with waiting. Zeus listens first for wind, then for earth, but nothing stirs. Slowly, he hears what lies beneath. His heart, his breath, his mind. Silence reveals how often he drowned doubt with thunder's noise. Even gods fear the quiet, seeking storms to cover their thoughts. Time bends in the valley, measured only by stillness. Restlessness claws at him, but the silence holds him firm. At last, Zeus surrenders, letting stillness become his companion. He does not demand answers. He lets silence simply exist. Then, silence begins to speak, not with words, but with truth. It shows him storms are only half his kingdom's power. The other half is calm sky, dawn's hush, night's still breath. To rule the heavens is to honor thunder and silence alike. He understands silence is the canvas upon which all sound lives. Without silence, music is chaos, voice is meaningless, thunder empty. A king who cannot bear silence will drown the world in noise. A ruler who cannot listen will never truly hear. The silence deepens, settling into Zeus as balance, not emptiness. He rises. No thunder, no lightning, only silence walks with him. The trial has ended. Silence was never to be conquered. It was meant to be embraced, a gift and a guide. From then on, the Skyfall King carries silence within. In pauses before thunder, in quiet after storms, in still nights. Mortals feel it too, in dawn's hush or sleep stillness. A steady presence, not heavy, not fearful, but calm. It is the gift of silence, carried by the one who once sought storms.